The United States of America have declared war on the Axis powers. Thousands of brave troops are being mobilized across the great nation. Everywhere the mighty machines of war are being built and loaded onto transports. As husbands and sons prepare to cross over the sea and support the Allied fight, their American families are praying for victory and a swift return.
The advancing Axis troops have overrun Paris. After a devastating assault, the Nazi war machine crushed the once proud city and inhabitants, leaving little standing. Paris, a tree-lined street so beautiful in the past, now the carriageways for Hitler's formidable army. Her monuments now the parade ground for legions of Nazi soldiers. One asks the question, will our world ever be the same again?
London has fallen. A victory for the Axis powers and a dark day for the once great British Empire. Mercilessly assaulted from sea and air, the Axis forces proved too powerful for the Allied defense. Row after row of Nazi warship and submarine crossed the channel seeking the snowy white cliffs of the mainland. Axis troops rained from the sky, falling to the ground with one common goal, to take London. Churchill has been jailed, and the invasion picks up pace. Axis forces continue to pour into the capital, while Britain's people mourn. Russia declares war. A massive production effort begins as Stalin prepares to defend against the Axis advances. Astounding numbers of troops march proudly through Red Square, each man ready to protect his homeland with his life. As the huge army moves to stop the Axis assault, the rest of the world looks on with hope as another great nation joins the Allied fight. China's troops are forced to retreat after the fall of Chongqing. Chongqing's people flee as enemy planes fly overhead and devastation covers the ruined capital. The ongoing Japanese assault is without mercy, the army of the rising sun wiping out all in its path. Masses of troops swarm the city and raze most buildings to their foundations. After the smoke clears, we ask, who or where will Japan's hungry gaze turn to next? The Allied and Axis armies are at a stalemate. Neither side is able to win the upper hand from the other, and so fighting will continue. Each passing day spells greater loss of life for both sides. As each army tries to take control, we will see a terrible battle of attrition. Our only hope is that at some time in the very near future, our world at war will see some resolution. A black day for the United States of America. Washington has fallen to the Axis war machine. Unable to defend against their relentless foe, the American forces have been overrun. Fighting spread from the outlying areas to the very streets of the capital. Under such an assault, it was only a matter of time before the exhausted American troops fell under the weight of the Axis war machine. The rest of the world is uneasy tonight as Axis troops celebrate their victory. This has surely changed the shape of all future world events. Tokyo has fallen. Japan surrenders. The Allied forces swarmed on the tiny island nation, overwhelming her defenses. Once feared for her mighty navy, Japan's coastline is now a graveyard. Smoking wrecks and scuttled ships, all that remain after a devastating assault from all quarters. As the occupying forces move in, Allied nations of the Pacific breathe a sigh of relief and look forward to brighter days ahead. Moscow has fallen. The Nazi blitzkrieg continues, relentlessly crushing any hope of defense. Germany's forces proving too powerful for the beleaguered Russians. The countryside is a scene of total devastation. The burning hulls of Russian tanks are testament to the fury of battle. As the Nazi soldiers celebrate their victory, thousands of Russian troops are taken prisoner or killed. The world is stunned as we watch the Axis powers claim victory over the Allies. Too strong, too many, too fast. Whatever the reasons, the Axis forces have seized the balance of power and placed victory beyond the reach of the Allies. The ravaging Axis forces continue to devour territory as the world leaders meet to discuss surrender. Although the war ends, what next for humanity?